so on page Reish Aleph it said Bekifu de Katfin, and we got some definition. It really tells us, sounds like it's like the skull of skulls, in some kind of pneumistic skull. Baruch Tzariva the masculine, and we saw that there's some contention about exactly the order of these words, or whether or not this word Tzarira should be incorporated. And then he says that it's tied to the concept of the masculine. So it's really giving a site location of where this binding to the concept of the three lines, which is what the masculine is which turns out to be Yud, K, and Vav. So this is like the three lines. So he said this is way up there in that kind of place like that. So then he goes to another idea, and I'm sure I've got them all lined up here that so well. And the new idea is, let's see, the Anta Bekitra Daltika, that is crowned with a crown, the Itra, Kitra or Itra, the Atika, he Kruma Ilor, that what covers over the kit, this place, this Anta Bekitra, the Atika. So he said he Kruma Ilor. What's on top of the top of Atika, which is Eric Anpin, is this Kruma Ilor. Is Dakek Vasasim, so it becomes more refined out. I think we saw like an idea that the light that's coming out from inside, or I'm not sure, but it's very, very refined, almost very transparent. Vasasim, but it covers over. Then he says, then he switches, he says, Hey Elor, the Isante Barucha the Nukvin de Bardashka. We went through some of the ideas on that in the last one. So he says, the Nafik La'achia, La'achia, Vavi Law, which is the Vavi Law. Now he's talking about all in the skull of skulls, or something like that, of the deep part of the Gavalta. He says the Vavi Law boots into the Kardanusa. He says it's also called by that name, which needs explanation, is Atabek Citroy, and it becomes crowned over in its place. Okay, that's it. Okay, so let's go back. I'm thinking that we were not really finished with the explanation. I'm not sure where it was. Well, let's read down a little bit from the top. And he says where we're talking about Osius, Yaakov, Eric Anpin, Vizer Anpin. So these letters, how they appear there. So Yibekipo de Kitvim Besilka Gugolas de Eric Anpin, Barucho Uvaruach Vayotze Mechochotim, with the ruach together with that a ruach that comes from the chotem, which calls it pradashka. It's river the masculine. So there's this concept over here. We went through different ideas of how whether or not it actually goes like the baruch and but the masculine, which is really the line. O b'keshach masculine shehu hadas, which is hadas. Then he says Yaakov Yud Kei Vav. Me'irin and Misatrin, Osius, Yaakov, they also shine into other letters, or I don't know exactly what you would say shining, but from this place of shining, that is the origin, I guess, of these three letters. Bekruma de Ravira, and it shines into the Kruma de Vira, of the Nekev Achotem, and into the nostrils, of the Shisha Kitzvos, the Guf, Eric Anpin, Kamoshi is Boyer, as is going to be stated. And that's really where we were learning yesterday. Let's come over and see. We just went through some of this. So he says, we're down to the bottom paragraph on the left column. It says, Reba Bira Gra. So like I said, seems like the Gra is deeply involved here. He said, Rebekatfoy, from this phrase, Abasitroy. Mishum she'ambach lamala, because it's set up above. Yudi law, yudito, hei law, mafresh v'holech heichon heim osius elu. Now let me see if I got that right. Mishum she'ambach lamala, yudi law, yudito, hei law. There's the three. Hey, we went through that. Mefarish v'char, and it continues on. Heichon heim osius elu. So where are these letters? Where's their origin? In that place. So last time he translated, he seemed to translate it like the skull of Eric Onpin. That's kind of what they said. I was saying that I thought maybe it meant the skull of skull, some kind of something, even a deeper projection or something, maybe. I don't know. Kuma Devira, so what is this? Actually, he says so now it sounds like the word katfui is something like maybe covering. It means a covering, some kind of covering concept. What's covering over the Kuma Devira? Shakutva Nikra Gulgolta. So we said the Kutsa, that's what Kutva is. Kamosha Amber Beidra Azuta, so apparently it's over there. He says so we read this a little bit yesterday, but we weren't able to finish it. So he said Gulgolta, he said the culture de Katfui. He said it's Pashet. Mechai kultra of the katvacha dihi agulgolta. Let me just read this again. He says, because he switched the word and I just forgot where we were yesterday. He says, kultra de katfui. So it's a new word, kultra de katfui. He says, is pashe, etc. And then he says, mechai kultra de katfui. Dihi Gulgolta, into this place which is called the culture de Katfui, I guess the skull of I'm not sure. Once again, they brought in that word, I'm not sure what to do with it. So he said, Barucha hu ruach de Bardashka. So then part of the sentence was in Barucha. So Barucha hu ruach de Bardashka Amar, because this is the ruach of the nose of Eric Onpen. 1 second. The Bardashka, so what I screw up here? The Bardashka, Kamosha Amar, and he said in the Sifra that's Niota, that's where we're at right now. Lamata, what is it? He says, Hey Lord is Ater, Barucha de Nukvin de Bardashka. So he says that they're related. He said the words are Hey Elor. I'm saying, where is this Hey Elor? The Hey Elor is Ata Barucha de Nukvim. It's on top of, or it's Panimi too. That's the right way. He says it's Panimi too. The Rucha that comes out of the Nukvim the Bardashka. For Amr B'Tzriva de Masculine. So it's tied up to this Maska, the Maskala. Who boots in and he says this is also known as the boots in the Kardanusa. Shakasa Pacific to the Mata can say that Vavovi law boots in the Kardanusa. So let me say it's reading in masculine. So let me just go back over that just a second, if you don't mind. Moment stream the masculine. It says up there it's stream the masculine. Who boots into the Kardanusa, he says the trila the masculine, the thing that binds the balance scale together is the masculine. The Sriva, the masculine, is also known as the boots into the Kardanusa, Shakasa Vesific the Mata. He says Vav Elo boots into the Kardanusa, so he means the upper Vav, which is Dat for Huadas. Ki Yidua Shaboots into the Kardanusa. Hu hadas, shuhu kavamida, shemis pashetet bekal leguf, which actually winds up spreading throughout the concept of the balance scale is really the concept of the middle line and its arms, sort of like that. Shadas mispashet bekal gufa, because it goes throughout the entire body. Idrin v'chsadrim, it fills up every space. Kamoshana amber uvadas. Chadarim Yimolu. So he says, if with das, Chadarim you will be filled. Kamosha Amber Idra Rabbah says, what does the Idra Rabbah says? The Idra Zut also over there. V'chadas hu kesher the maskala. That's what the das is. The das is the binding of the maskala. It's the center pin, or whatever you would call it. Shu haloshan. So I call it the center pin. I don't really have a clear view, but it's the center line. Is Shu Haloshan Shal HaMishkalis Zad Khan. So he said, Ray Mamashin is Bar Ba'orcha B'Devar B'Ha'aras L'Bira Mashula T'Fil Gro Ein Sham. There's going to be lots of stuff there. Now, okay, so let me see. There's still more. A little bit more. So he says, Hine Bifnim. This boyer inim bekatfu de katfin. The Hainu Besocha Gugolas the Erikanpin. So that's what he says. He said the Katfu the Katfin is the skull of Erikanpin. He says Ki Katfui is because he has to tell me Ratzon Lober Gugolto. So he says of Gedivra now, because it's like this following the Gra. So he says Biurim Kan. He says Ak Ein Hakavana Kan the Gugolto. But the idea is not talking about the Gegolta itself. Ella Loor Hameir Bekuma de Ravira, but rather it's talking about a light that is shining out through, did he say Bekuma? So let me read again. Ella Loor Hameir Bekuma de Vira, that's shining in or on the Kuma de Vira, Shebetocha Gegolta, which is inside of it. So it's radiating this light. That is this concept that this kind of smoke, which is actually coming up through this kruma, and it's generating there. That is able from there to shine into the kruma davira. So let's see, what time is it now? Okay, so let me stop this, and so we'll look at it again. It was a little deep